I'm back, you guys. Let's see, hit forgot password. I'm sorry, y'all. Whenever I touch my phone in lives, it just makes the whole screen go blank. So I guess we won't do the little chat box. If you have a question, I'll have to just be ghetto and scroll and look like this for the questions. So, asset protection recap. Make sure you have an active LLC. Make sure we're not commingling funds. We're not swiping the business account for personal expenses. And make sure that whatever kind of license, permit, insurance your industry requires that you have. On the business structure side, you want to make sure that we are setting up our business correct the first time. Okay, so we're not having to pay all of these extra expenses to amend things, make changes, all that good stuff. Okay, so first things first is you want to make sure that we're not just running a whole bunch of DBAs under one LLC. Running a whole bunch of DBAs under one LLC is just having, I see my cups. It's just having like one big pot of gumbo, right? So you have all these businesses under one LLC, which can you do that? Like technically, yes, you can do that. But if one of these companies gets in a lawsuit, then the creditor can have access to all the company's income, all the company's expenses, and we don't want that. So that's why you want to separate each entity into its own LLC. So if that entity were to get sued, there's an issue, they can't come over and touch another LLC's money or assets. Okay. So let's see. I had a question. Have I heard of Novo Bank for Business? I have. I want to say that Novo is an online bank. So when it comes to business banking, you want to have a banker, right? So you want to have a person that you establish a relationship with when it comes to banking. It's when you start going in there, making a lot of deposits, when you start talking to people and they're pulling up your account, you want to have a relationship with someone because they're going to be like, hey, we have this program coming up. What you need is boom, 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 boom. So I don't really recommend online banks. One, because I want to be able to walk in and get my money or put my hands on somebody that has my money. And then two, you want to be able to establish a relationship with a banker. So whenever you go into the bank, you're talking to either like your banker, like having that relationship, having that rapport with someone. So eventually when it is time to get funding, you already kind of have the inside track. NAICS SIC codes, right. Okay, SeaWorld 250. I don't know what you mean about your NAICS code, but no, you cannot change your NAICS code once it is formed. So you basically choose your NAICS code when you get your EIN number. If you are in a high risk industry, so tax preparation, trucking, CBD, car dealership, real estate, investments, any of that, and that's in your name or that's the industry that you chose in your EIN number, you're gonna need to form a new business to mask that entity. Is it possible to purchase a vehicle in your LLC even if your LLC is relatively new? You're going to have to make your LLC credit worthy. So you need to have a Dun & Bradstreet number and build out a business credit profile so that your LLC will have business credit and then it can apply for a vehicle loan. Is there a waiting period to apply for grants after I reinstate my LLC? There's not a waiting period. Now for grants, the grants are not going to check your LLC status unless you win the grant. And normally it's about a 90-day process for them to go through all the applications and, read everything. And then they're going to make like their top 10, and from the top 10 they'll go down their top 30, whatever. So technically, if you're gonna get your stuff together soon, technically you could apply for a grant with your LLC being inactive. And then by the time they get to your grant, you get chosen, blah, blah, blah. You've already filled out your forms and reinstated your LLC, so you're good. So business credit and funding and financing, they're going to check your LLC off top. Grants, they're not going to check your LLC until you become a finalist or a winner. So you do have like a little leeway to go ahead and get yourself together while you're applying for grants. Like I said earlier, there are a lot of grants going on in April. So you want to make sure that if you're in the bundle, go through all the different tabs and, just on one Sunday, just knock the applications out. Delaware is a good state to form an LLC to be able to operate nationally around the USA. Okay. You can operate nationally around the USA with a South Dakota LLC. Okay. So whatever state your LLC is formed in, all this, Delaware has better asset protection laws, and every state has different benefits. But if you don't have a presence in that state, you're going to have to still register your LLC as a foreign LLC in the state that you're in. Okay, so holding company in Delaware or Wyoming, which one is more obscure? Delaware, Wyoming, Nevada, New Mexico, all are anonymous LLCs, meaning the members' names are not going to be on the articles of organization. So they won't know who owns it if you do it in those states. So you're still going to have to register the LLC in the state that you're doing business in, whatever state is your corporate headquarters. If you are in a regular state that doesn't have an anonymous LLC, you can kind of still get that same anonymous LLC effect by forming a holding company or like a regular LLC, and then having that LLC own the other LLC. So then therefore you're not listed as a member of the LLC. So there's like a couple of ways to skin the cat. Once your taxpayer files an ERC, does it consider? No. An annual report and the ERC credit are two different things. The ERC credit is going to be that tax credit you get for having your employees stay on during COVID. Your LLC annual report is something that's due to the state. So the LLC report is a state form. That ERC is a federal form. So no, you still need to file your annual report with the state. Some CPAs and accountants will do it for you. So if your accountant does it for you, make sure that he's filing your tax return and your annual report. Let's see if I have any questions. I just changed my LLC from transportation and enterprise. Okay, so just cruising 05. Whenever you amend an LLC, you got to take the original with the amendment to show proof of everything that's going on with that LLC to the bank, wherever you're going. So just because you change transportation to enterprise, when they see the original name, they're going to still see transportation. So you need to form a whole new, you need to book a business structure consultation. I'm going to give you two plays as to what you need to do to get over that. But just changing that name, you didn't fix the problem. Okay, let's see. Yes, you can start applying to grants for now, Miss Angel. How does a new LLC establish business credit? So a new LLC is going to establish business credit. One, it needs to have a DUNS number or a Dun & Bradstreet number. Dun & Bradstreet is going to be the largest business credit bureau. You're also going to have Small Business Experian and then Small Business Equifax. Once you get your Dun & Bradstreet number, you can then start getting something called Net 30 or Tier 1 vendors. So Net 30 or Tier 1 vendors are going to be companies that are going to extend your business a line of credit, although it's a brand new business or doesn't have any business credit established. You're going to purchase something from these sites, and then you're going to pay your invoice in 30 days. Once you get a set amount of Tier 1 or Net 30 trade lines, then you'll go to the second process of getting store credit. So you're going to get a credit card that can be used at that store. So your Staples, your Lowe's, your Home Depot, your Office Max. Once they see about 5 to 7 tier 1 trade lines reporting to your business credit reports, then they will approve you for a store credit card. Once you get about 5 to 7 store credit cards, making your payments early, not on time, then you'll be able to apply for tier 3 credit cards, which will be your cash credit card. So your American Express, your Chase, your Capital Ones, the credit cards that you can use anywhere. Once you get about 5 to 7 of those cards reporting to your business credit report, now we can walk into the bank and get vehicle financing, line of credit, or a loan. So that is the process of establishing business credit. You got to also have an LLC. It needs to be properly structured. So no Gmail account, no home address. You need to be listed on certain sites. So that's kind of like the process of establishing business credit. On average, it's going to probably take about 6 to 9 months to get into the bank. Okay, what were the 3 circles of protection that you said? So your layers of protection are going to be 1, your LLC. Number 2, the LLC needs to be active by filing its annual report and paying whatever fee your state requires. 3 is going to be having a clean business bank account. So we are not commingling personal and bank funds. We are not using the business bank account as our piggy bank, meaning we're not paying for personal expenses out of the business account. 4th is going to be, depending on your industry, what kind of license, permit, or insurance is required, in making sure that you have those. Do you think hiring a grant writer is extremely important to win a grant? What's important to win a grant is going to be your statement of need, okay? Why do you need the money and what you're going to do with the money? Who are you? Why are you so good? And what makes your business different than all these other businesses? That's the most important thing in winning a grant. A lot of the grant applications in my grant bundle, or in just business grants in general, the application's online. Like, you're not having to come up with this 20-page grant proposal. You're really answering the questions online, and most grants are going to be asking the same question. You need to worry about, why do you need this money? We're not asking for things that are not going to make us money. So paying off debt, catching up on bills. We're not asking for things like that. We want to position our business to sound like it's either an established business doing well, or it's a new up and coming business. What makes you so good? You know, what from your background just stands out? Are you experienced? Are you new and have like new ideas? And then you want to make sure that whatever you're asking for, you can show how it's going to make you money. Okay, so paying off debt won't make you money. Hiring more employees to, be able to do more work, that will make you more money. Having a new marketing team rebrand you and give you a new fresh look, that will make you more money. If your restaurant or your business is full to capacity, you need a bigger space to be able to handle more work or handle more clients, that will make you more money. So the important thing about winning a grant is not going to be a grant writer. It's getting your statement of need together, because you should be applying for grants every single month to get that, to increase your chances of having income coming in, multiple times that you don't have to pay back, and it's not going to really affect your cash flow. So I would not say a grant writer. I would say your statement of need, because the grant writer can't make up that statement of need. They're going to make sure that, their grammar is correct. But like I said, a lot of the grants are online. You want to really, impress the grant reviewer by making your business stand out, what you're doing, how you're helping something, or what problem you're solving. And the problem doesn't have to be like a real save the whales problem. A problem can be, hey, I provide, cute accessories at an affordable rate, for women. But you want to make sure that that stands out. Capital contribution agreement. How do I classify the money I'm spending now on the business to get it started, but I have not formed the LLC? You can still use the capital contribution agreement. You would just backdate it, but it would still be in the same tax year. So if you're forming your LLC in 2023, you may have spent some expenses on the business before you actually got your paperwork back from the Secretary of State, that's fine. It's still going to fall in that same tax year. So I would just backdate the capital contribution agreement. How do you get a DBA registration? Baby, Rhonda Storms Collections. I just can't even tell you how to get a DBA, because you should not be getting a DBA. You should be getting an LLC. Okay, you can get an LLC by having me form it. You can go to LegalZoom. You can go to InkFile, or you can go to your Secretary of State. But you do not want a DBA. Okay, a DBA stands for Don't Be Asked Out. You want an LLC so that you're separating your assets from the business and you're protecting you. Okay, so LLC. What's on your grant list and what do you help with? Okay. My name is Arne. DM me and I'll just text you basically the description of what the grant bundle is. Okay. What website can my address to virtual? I'm assuming you're wanting a virtual. If you guys go to Opus, Opus will actually report your monthly payment for the virtual address on your business credit report. So you're kind of like killing two birds with one stone. But Regis, Opus, Alliance, physicaladdress.com. Do not use iPostal. iPostal comes up as a P.O. box. Do not get a P.O. box because it's going to flag your business as high risk. So I would say a Regis, Opus, Alliance, physicaladdress.com. Is logistics high risk? Yes. Anything in trucking, transportation, logistics, all that is in that same category. And yes, it is high risk. Can you change your address and name on your annual report instead of amending it for a fee with the state? You can change the address that the mail is going to come to, but that's not going to change the address on your actual articles or organization. And no, you cannot change your name. You're going to have to amend it if you want to change your business address. As far as, amend if you want to change your business name and if you want the address on your LLC to be a different address. Everyone needs to make sure that the address that the registered agent is listed on, that needs to be a good address. So if you maybe put your home address on there and you moved, if you maybe have put your business address but you moved, if you maybe had a virtual address but you stopped paying the bill, so you're not really paying on the address, the registered agent's address is going to be the most important address on your LLC, because that is the address where this lawsuit is going to. Okay, so most states are going to say, the service processor, the person who's going to hand the lawsuit to the registered agent, they have to go maybe 3 to 5 times to that address. If no one's there, all they have to do then is just leave the lawsuit at that address. If the address on your articles for your registered agent is an old address, the lawsuit's just going to be sitting there. And by law, it's fine because that's what you have listed on your articles or your certificate of formation. If you don't get notice of the lawsuit, you have X amount of days, normally it's 30, to respond or to answer a lawsuit. If you don't answer a lawsuit, then the person suing you is going to get something called a default judgment, meaning I win the lawsuit just because you didn't answer. So you want to make sure that you look in your articles, so everyone look tonight or in the morning, and make sure that the address for your registered agent is a good address for you, because that's the address where this lawsuit is going to be served at. What is the best way to document cash payments towards the business? You need to be having a POS system or a point of sale system. So Stripe, Clover, Square, those will be point of sale systems. So if you're in a cash heavy business, you nails, barber, hairstylist, makeup artist, you want to still invoice your client. Okay, so although she pay me cash, I'm going to invoice her. Hey, she got her makeup done. It's $150. I'm putting the invoice in my point of sale system, marking her paid as cash. Therefore, you have a third party to verify your sales. So when you walk in the bank, you have your bank statements. Depending on how much money you're making, sometimes people don't believe you're really making that kind of money. when you can pull up your Stripe, your Square account, your PayPal, whatever, on their computer, and you're logging in and they're seeing, okay, so for March, $200,000 came in Square, and we got 200 in the bank. It's another way of verifying the funds that you are receiving for your business. So everyone, cash or credit, needs to be getting a receipt, and that receipt needs to be documented in your point of sale system. And then the money needs to hit the bank, okay? Your business bank account is going to be your business resume. So if you made $100 tonight doing someone's makeup, on your way home, you spent that money putting gas in your car or getting something to eat. That money never hit your bank account, so you don't get credit for it when it comes to financing. They're going to look at your business bank account to determine how much debt can your business handle. So you want to make sure that all your cash hits the bank. Once it hits the bank, you can do with it what you want to do with it. But if it never hits the bank, your business doesn't get credit for it. Okay, so make sure that all your business funds are hitting the bank. What would you suggest in order to get approved for grants? I've applied to 3 and just not getting any luck. Chelsea Struby, I would say book a grant call with me where I can help you develop your statement of need. What you're asking for is not moving the grant reviewer, and we're not making our business stand out in a great light. So we got to showcase how wonderful you are, how your business is thebomb.com, and why what I'm asking for is going to help my business make money. Okay, so I would say book a grant call with me on my website. But grants are really good to get because one, it's free money, so it's not going to affect your cash flow as far as having to pay the grant back. 2, there's not a lot of restrictions or requirements as to who can get the grant. So they're not based on revenue. They're not based on how long you've been in business. They're not based on your credit. There's no limit to how many you can apply for. So you can apply for multiple grants. How I just said, you should have multiple LLCs. You can have each one of your LLCs can be applying for the same grant. So you want to make sure that we're really making our business stand out when applying for the grants. What is better for asset protection, sole member or an S Corp? When it comes to asset protection, an LLC and a corporation do the same thing. Like one's not better than the other. Certain people cannot be members of an LLC. So if you're not a U.S. citizen, then you can't have an LLC. So you have to do a corporation. Some people choose a corporation if they're trying to raise money. But for asset protection, like it's the same thing. The LLC, corporation, they are the same for asset protection. Once you form it, though, the same rules apply. On the LLC side, you got to have your bank account with no commingling. You got to have your license, permit, insurance. It has to be active, and you got to have an operating agreement. That's going to be the contract for your LLC. On the corporation side, same thing, no commingling funds. It needs to be an active corporation, but a corporation has more corporate formality. So every year, a corporation has to have meetings. It's called minutes. You got to elect a board of directors. So like I said, they're going to pull, like if you get sued, they're going to look to make sure that you're active. If you're an LLC, they're going to ask your operating agreement. You don't have one, you're going to have a problem. On the corporation side, you get sued, they're going to ask for your corporate minutes for the last 3 years. If you don't have your corporate minutes, you're going to have an issue because in order to be a corporation, you're required to do minutes every year and have a board of directors. There's more formalities you got to do to have a corporation, which is I tell people, my little light went out. I tell people just be an LLC. Okay, so there is no difference as far as asset protection. But look how cute this light is, y'all. It's my little girl. Who is this? Jay Glamour. This light is on your phone. Wasn't I cute earlier with my little light? Let's see. Yes, I will save this live. J Cruising 05. I have a grant bundle that kind of breaks everything down of what I'm getting. I also just started a grant Facebook group, which is going to kind of explain. I kind of give, tips and stuff regarding grants in my Facebook group, so you can kind of check that out. So let's see. Any other questions? When providing housing and counseling services for veterans. Okay, Mike, I need you to ask your question again. What does high risk mean? High risk means this. Some banks deem certain industries high risk based on the probability of bankruptcy. Okay, so industries that you lose money the quickest on or can go bankrupt, or they just feel like the industry itself is risky. So there's some that are going to be called excluded, like don't even come and apply. So if you do anything like in check cashing, a pawn shop, anything in the sex industry, anything dealing with firearms, don't even drive by the bank. Okay, they're not messing with you. And if you go on any bank's website, just scroll down to the bottom. They're going to have a list of what their high risk industries are. So high risk industries will be like, it's a probability you're going to go out, you're going to lose money or go out of business soon. So real estate, trucking, transportation logistics, car dealerships, CBD, tax preparation, construction, those industries the banks they're not that fond of, okay? So if you are in that industry, you got to have all your I's dotted, all your T's crossed. That means these bank statements need to be on and popping. You need to have a corporate address. You need to have your financials together, profit and loss statement, balance sheet. And if you get approved, the approval amount may not be as high as a low risk industry, okay? So a consulting service, education, retail. That's what high risk means. Give us young business owners a good grant to sign up. Baby, I just posted a grant today. Botox has partnered with iFund Women. They are giving out a $25,000 grant. It is due on April 7th. The application's online. The only requirement is you got to be 18 or older, a U.S.-based business, be a woman or identify as a woman, and it cannot be a franchise or network marketing or multi-level marketing business. So you can go apply for that one. Are you using AI at all? Baby, I don't even know what AI is. I see it, I hear it. I don't know what it is, so no, I'm not using AI. When you post your business on Google, Yelp, or 411, do you need a storefront or a logo? So we are all seven-figure business owners. We are all multi-million-dollar CEOs. So does Walmart have a logo? If Walmart has a logo, then you need to have a logo. If Walmart has a branded email address, then you need to have a branded email address. Okay, so yes, we got to have a logo. If you're a business, you got to have a logo, a branded email address. We need to have brand colors. So not just blue, red, what's the hex code? Every color has something called a hex code so that it's the same blue everywhere. So your packaging, your website, your social media, everything's going to be the same color, okay? The Walmart blue at the Walmart store in Texas isn't a different blue than what their social media page is versus what how their blue is in the stores in Alabama. Everything is consistent. That's going to be that hex code, okay? So you need to have a logo, you need to have a business address, you need to have social media pages, listed on Google, Yelp, 411, a virtual phone number, not your personal cell phone number, and a business website. It could be a basic website, a little one-pager, but you want your business to stand out and be treated like it's a real business. A presentation for seed. I don't know what seed funding. Are you trying to raise money? I don't know what you're asking me. February Ventique. Okay, let's see. Did I answer all of my questions? Okay, I guess I did. So I will save this live, and I will save the first one when I was going over the steps for asset protection and business structure. If you have not gotten my grant bundle, I would suggest you get my grant bundle or start Googling grants, because April is a heavy month for grants. You want to make sure that you are positioning your business to look like it's a thriving business, and you're asking for things that are going to make you money. LLCs need to publish in a newspaper with 90 days. Okay, SeaWorld, that depends on what state you're in, but there is a publication requirement. I want to say that's New York. But you want to check your state. Most states don't require that. Any recommendations for logo websites? I would go with a graphic designer. I use Scott at Printing by Me. So that's Printing BYME on Instagram. But whoever does your logo, make sure they are signing a copyright transfer agreement. That means that they are transferring their ownership interest in that logo to you. So although you pay them, you still don't own that logo. So you want to make sure that they are signing a copyright transfer agreement. If you make a logo on a site like Canva or Photoshop, I don't know about Photoshop, I know on Canva, you do not own that logo. Okay, Canva owns the logo. If you need a copyright transfer agreement, I do have one on my website. Okay. Hey, Mark, I see you. I'm going to see you at the bank, Mark. Okay, so I will save this live and the one before. And, of course, I will see you at the bank.